Monday, August the 8th. And so it's that reset week that we talk about. It's the week between a new cycle and an old cycle. And since this was one of those 3-3-2-2-1-1 cycles, then it makes a lot of sense that it's not a week where we're like going to try again to max out. In fact, instead what we're going to say on Monday and Friday this week is like, if you want to, right? It has not been the point of this cycle, but if you've been making gains, particularly with technique, and want to see how far that goes, then you'll get 20 minutes to work on that. It's also 20 minutes to have a coach look at what you're doing and make suggestions, or to try stuff with your technique. So I'm going to keep using the word technique because that is what we pride. It's the thing that we take the most pride in, both as coaches watching you and as athletes, and what we want you to take the most pride in as well. So just not to belabor the point over these last few weeks, but it's not the max that you can hit that you should care about or that we should care about, although there's of course always a level of pride to that. It is just how nice does it look? How functional are you being when you do it? How safe are you staying? All right, that's it. So the WOD today is a simple one. It's simplistic in nature, and we took it for that reason directly from my hero, Pat Sherwood. So this comes directly to us from Linchpin. And the reason that he's my hero, particularly for programming, is the potency and the simplicity of what he programs. So here's what it is. It's 2 rounds. I'm sorry, no, I wish it was 2 rounds. It's 5 rounds, 15 each of wall balls and power cleans, no heavier than 95 or 65. Why do we like that? Couple reasons. Number one, it's not overly long. Like, we've been going pretty long recently, and we understand, of course, that the bread and butter, as we always like to call it, is about 12 to 15 minutes for a typical day, or the average day at Chester Springs CrossFit. And what's cool about this workout is I think that some people can get this done in less than 10 minutes, and some people it's going to be more like 12 to 15. It's going to basically challenge everybody at different levels, right? It's possible to write a workout that's too easy for experienced competitors and too difficult for people who are less experienced. This one is right in the middle, right? It meets everybody where they're at. Everybody can power clean, we've seen it, and everybody can do wall balls, right? So what are some things to focus on today? Well, it's typical, especially like last Tuesday, for example, with wall balls, for us as coaches to, at points, just kind of let you get away with less depth on the wall ball squat. We had 120 of them, plus the workout last Tuesday for Dean was like already gonna be about 40 minutes plus. And so I'm not going to slow you down any more than you already are on a workout like that. But this one is more of a sprint. And so I need to see that great depth on these wall balls. And so you're going to have to modify the weight of the ball or the height of the target or both in order to make sure that you're showing me the full points of performance on a good wall ball. So that's full depth, and then also hip extension, and also hitting a target, whether or not it be the RX target. All right, so that's number one. And then power cleans, we're expecting touch and go. All right, for as many as you can, right? There shouldn't be a time at which you would resort to singles, because if there is, then you didn't modify the weight correctly, and therefore you are not going to meet the stimulus of the WOD. So what can we do about that? Number one, we said no heavier than 95 or 65. Well, that seems achievable, right? Even for everybody almost. I don't want you to look at it and say, well, I can lift that. I want you to say, well, I can lift that and probably touch and go 15 if I had to. In which case, you actually may have to, or you may want to today. Today's an appropriate day to be touching and going for a lot of reps. In fact, that's the last point I'm going to make. That is the point of this workout. Why we would pair, or why Pat Sherwood in this case would pair wall balls and power cleans, right? It is so that these movements will keep high intensity, because you are going to very intentionally rip off big sets. If not all 15, then 10s. I looked at it just now as a EMOM. I wanted to perform 19 reps every minute on the minute. And the math got a little screwy for me, honestly. It's tough to do that. But in general, around that, You should be able to finish 15 of something in a minute, I think, most people. If not 15, then something more like 10 to 12. And if you do that, you'll get a good time. My time today was 8:08. I'm happy with it. Right, so let's look for somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes. I think we can all do that. Enjoy.